The Ice Rider Calyrex League Battle Deck is arguably the best League Battle deck that the Pokemon Company have ever put out. However, even at the time of its release, there were some major question marks about rotation. With the deck coming out so soon before rotation, and with a lot of cards that are rotating out, is Ice Rider Calyrex going to survive? So today, I wanted to answer the question by showing some lists from Japan post-rotation that are already making some waves with Ice Rider Calyrex. I'm Jet from inthirdperson.com. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's talk about Ice Rider Calyrex post-rotation, in particular for those who have the League Battle deck. Now, if you've just got Ice Rider, like, cool, this all still applies, but in particular for those who bought a League Battle deck because you're like, hey, this is like an all-encompassing thing, I don't have to make any edits, and this is a great deck. Let's talk about what happens after rotation. So let's hop over to this screen over here, where we've got the Ice Rider Calyrex League Battle deck pulled up, and a lot of these cards, unfortunately, are rotating out. In particular, the Shady Dealings Drizzile is rotating out, so you're losing 4 of those. It's Shady Dealings Inteleon, we're losing those. And these cards are pivotal to the way that Ice Rider has run at this point in time, because it lets you cherry pick the cards you need so that you can do Max Lance over and over again and hit for 1 billion damage. We're also losing in rotation Capacious Bucket, Evolution Incense, Quick Ball, Path to the Peak stays, Marnie's going away, and so and Air Balloon is going away as well. So there's clearly a lot of concern about Ice Rider Calyrex. How viable is it going to be post-rotation? And what do I need to do as someone who owns the League Battle deck to make this deck work in standard post-rotation? And we're seeing some results in Japan, and Ice Rider is actually doing pretty good. I've got a couple of lists from post-rotation. Let's go switch over to this. And shout outs to Pokeka Recipe on Twitter. This account shows the results from Japanese tournaments. Of course, Japan has already rotated, and this gives us a glimpse at what kind of cards we're going to see in the future in our meta, because yeah, Japan kind of has the head start on us. And Ice Rider Calyrex, based on what we've seen so far, there are 2 main ways that Ice Rider is working, and one of those is with Arceus Vstar. Of course, Arceus Vstar, one of the best Pokemon in the game. You can attach double turbo and a single energy on turn 2. You get your Star Requiem, get the 2 cards you need, and you would then use Trinity Nova or even Trinity Charge off the Arceus V to charge up Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX, throw 3 water energy on it, and then on the following turn or at some point in the game, you can bring Ice Rider Calyrex in to do 250 damage. Or with the Choice Belt, 280 damage. With the Choice Belt, 280 is enough to knock out pretty much every V-Star except Regigigas V-Star, but no one's playing Regigigas V-Star, so don't worry about that. But then there are a number of EX Pokemon that also get knocked out at 250, still allowing you to take 2 prizes as well. So this archetype still looks pretty tantalizing. And to help us draw cards, we've got Bibarel, of course, that lets you draw up to 5 cards, but there's also this new Skwovet card, Skwovet, and its ability is that you take your hand and you put it to the bottom of your deck and you draw 1 card. Now, that sounds terrible initially, but when you combine it with Bibarel's ability, you can actually then draw 4 more to get yourself up to 5 cards and help yourself cycle through the deck even quicker. So that's going to be your new draw engine. You don't get to cherry pick cards like you did with Shady Dealings, but with the combination of Arceus helping you grab the cards that you need initially, along with Bibarel to help you draw cards as you play, and Skwovet to help you refresh your hand, that's kind of the general strategy with this deck, on top of Arceus doing the initial damage and then Ice Rider being the heavy hitter of the deck. I'm not going to go through all the cards here because I think the core of the deck, it's Arceus with Bibarel, but some other notable includes here. We've got four Nest Ball, which is going to be a standard in almost every deck going forward as our de facto replacement for Quick Ball. This particular player has 2 Capturing Aroma. I don't like this card at all, personally. You flip a coin. I think it's if heads, you get an evolution Pokemon. If it's tails, you get a basic Pokemon. I can understand why you do that just for some extra Pokemon search. But personally, I just don't like this card, and I hope it doesn't see play going forward because we've had better search options in the past than this, but this might be all we've got going forward. Instead of Marnie, we've got 3 copies of Judge. We've also got, there are 3 Melanies here. We've got 1 Serena, 3 Path to the Peak, and some V-Guard energy here as well. Arceus Ice Rider. This is a deck archetype that players did experiment with a little bit in Brilliant Stars. And in the post-rotation world, this could be even more viable. I believe this deck actually won the tournament that it's in. The other way to play Ice Rider Calyrex post-rotation is with Palkia Vstar. This is another one that saw some play during the Astral Radiance era. And with this, you've got the power of Palkia Vstar, high HP, only drops 2 prizes, and Palkia in and of itself does ridiculous damage if both benches are full. I think it's up to 260, and then with a choice belt, 290. And so depending on what your needs are, you might be just fine with Palkia. You could go with Ice Rider, which is the more guaranteed heavy hitter. And this one actually has not only Choice Belt, it's also got the Defiant Band, which does 30 damage if you're behind on prizes. So Ice Rider can hit for 280 on an EX Pokemon if you were behind on prizes. And then with Ice Rider having 320 HP, and on top of that, we've got the Lake of Acuity here as well, so that's going to be 340. Well, you're going to get rid of energy as well, so you're going to be at 320. That's still a lot of HP going forward, and you still have the ability to one-shot some EXs and Pokemon V as well. Again, we've got the Bibarel engine for drawing cards. We do have 1 Pocket Drapion to handle that Mew matchup. And there isn't really, and then we've got Greninja here to discard water energy to help synergize with Melanie to get the reattach. But you don't necessarily need Melanie as much because you've got Palkia with its Star Portal. I can't remember the Palkia ability, the name of that one. The one that charges the energy is what you're going to use that for to reload the Ice Rider as you go. This one, again, has the Capturing Aroma. I personally don't like that. We've got lots of Irida here to help set up, which is a nice call. We also see Arven here, which is a card that allows you to get 1 item and 1 tool. Keep in mind that going forward, post-rotation, tools are no longer items. So a card like Arven becomes handy where you can grab something like an Ultra Ball, also get a Choice Belt in the same go. And there we go. Those are some looks at some Ice Rider Calyrex decks that are doing well in Japan. Now, the big thing with, especially if you've got a League Battle deck, is you're probably noticing most of the cards from your League Battle deck are not going to carry over. You're going to have to do a lot of digging to get some of these cards, and some of these are like ultra rare cards like your Palkias and your Arceuses as well. And at that point, the purchase of a Ice Rider Calyrex League Battle deck is definitely more shaky. Like, yes, you're going to get the 3/3 line of Ice Rider, but then because you're getting rid of so many other cards from the deck, and you're going to have to get all of the other cards for these new versions as singles, maybe it's just better to buy Ice Rider as singles, unless you want to play the Ice Rider League Battle deck as is in a standard format with family or friends, or in expanded, something like that. So the good news is it looks like Ice Rider Calyrex is going to be a force post-rotation. The bad news is, especially if you've got a League Battle deck, if you want to continue playing with it at a competitive level in standard, you're going to have to do a lot of work to get the cards to fill out these sort of archetypes. And now keep in mind, these are only 2. There might be other ways of building the deck going forward that pop up. Maybe it's a Frostlass or something like that, or something new going forward. However, at this point in time, I think regardless, you're going to have to do a lot of work to get the Ice Rider Calyrex standard ready or post-rotation ready. So there we go. What do you think of Ice Rider going forward? Are you excited to be able to break the Ice Rider back out and see it competitive again? Because it hasn't been competitive for some time now, but it's kind of cool to see it come back in a new format, even if that means you're going to need to do some heavy reworking of your League battle deck to make it go. So let me know in the comments of this video. And yeah, for those on Twitch, stick around. We're going to say goodbye to our YouTube friends here. And before we do that, some quick plugs. You can find me on all the things: YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram at In Third Person. You can find me on Twitch at In Third Person, where I stream the Pokemon trading card game every Sunday at 10 a.m. like we are right now. And check out the website, inthirdperson.com, for more articles and videos on video games, board games, and other nerdy pursuits. I don't know why the thing on the bottom didn't show up. That's all right. That's all right. All right, YouTube. We'll see you guys later. Let's get out of here. Bye-bye.